Amazing girl speaks 8 languages, and while others laughed, a millionaire was left heartwarmed. Mia stood on the edge of the community center stage, her heart racing like a drum. The room buzzed with chatter, the hum of voices blending into a warm melody. With sweat trickling down her back, she took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her dreams clinging to her like a second skin. "You got this," she whispered to herself, moments before stepping into the spotlight. The colorful banners around her fluttered slightly, like the excitement that crackled through the air. She was 15 and juggling school, her part-time gig at the family diner, and an unyielding hope to bridge the gaps between cultures with her unique gift fluent in 8 languages. People shifted in their seats, eyes occasionally flickering to where Mr. Thompson, the wealthy newcomer, sat quietly, detached yet intrigued. Murmurs filled the air, skepticism about his arrival thick like the tension before a storm. In stark contrast, Mia felt warmth in her heart as she began to speak, showcasing not just her language skills but a piece of herself. She shared tales of her family's diner, its aged walls echoing stories of laughter and warmth even as they faced mounting bills and her mother's recent health scare. As Mia spoke, she watched the audience transform. Curiosity flickered like candle flames in their eyes. She was more than the girl who was mocked for being different. She was a beacon of resilience. The crowd's gasps echoed with a mixture of surprise and admiration as she shifted from Spanish to French to Mandarin, weaving a tapestry rich with culture, compassion, and connection. The laughter that once hung over her turned to applause that wrapped around her like a comforting embrace. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. It was then, in the midst of her small triumph, that disaster loomed. A frantic call from the diner shattered her triumphant moment. The news crashed down like a thunderstorm. The plumbing had failed, and without funds for repairs, their family legacy teetered on the brink of collapse. Mia's heart sank. Memories of warm meals and shared smiles flashed before her eyes, and suddenly her dreams seemed to dim like a fading light. In the back, Mr. Thompson absorbed the unfolding drama. He could feel the juxtaposition of their stories, the glitter of his privilege against the struggle of Mia's family. He wrestled with his detachment, feeling the stirrings of something deeper. Could he step beyond the layers of wealth and reach out? Could he truly understand the pulse of the community he viewed from afar? As Mia's tears threatened to spill over, the room erupted with movement. Her community stood to rally around her, showing a spirit that defied social barriers. The echoes of her hope intertwined with the rhythm of unity. Would they find a way to save the diner? Would Mia seize the lifeline before her family's dreams faded into shadows? Hope surged within her, igniting a flame against the heavy weight of despair. And at that moment, she realized her journey had only just begun. Mia blinked hard, fighting the tears that threatened to spill. The passionate applause still rang in her ears, but it felt muffled, overshadowed by the fear gnawing at her heart. The weight of her family's struggle came crashing down around her, a looming storm cloud amidst the warmth of what had just been a triumphant moment. "Guys, listen!" she called out, the urgency in her voice drawing her friends closer. "The diner, we need to do something." There was a moment of hushed silence, a collective inhale as her friends took in the gravity of her words. Sarah, her best friend, stepped forward, her brow knitted in concern. "What do you mean?" Sarah asked, her eyes wide. "What happened?" Mia took a deep breath, summoning her courage. "The plumbing, it broke down. Mom said it could close the diner for weeks if we don't fix it." The group exchanged worried glances before Sarah spoke again. "We can't let that happen. What about a fundraiser? We can make it work." The suggestion hung in the air, bright and heavy with potential. Mia's heart raced again, not from fear this time, but from hope. Could they truly pull something like that off? Soon, ideas began to flow as friends chimed in. Bake sales, car washes, and even a community talent show to showcase local talent, all conceived in a flurry of excitement. The energy wrapped around Mia like a lifeline, empowering her to envision something bright. "Let us meet at my house tomorrow after school," Mia suggested, feeling a small swell of determination. "We can plan everything out." As they exchanged ideas, glances of reassurance lightened the atmosphere. Laughter began to weave through the cloud of worry. Mia grabbed her pen and paper, jotting notes, her spirits lifting with each passing moment. Amidst the bustling chatter, Mr. Thompson rose from his seat. His presence, usually so wrapped in an air of aloofness, now commanded attention. The room quieted as they all turned toward him, uncertainty reflected in their eyes. "I couldn't help but overhear," he began, his voice steady yet uncertain. "Is there a way I could contribute?" Mia felt her heart skip a beat. Why was he offering help? The whispers of doubt raced through her mind, but she forced herself to look him in the eye. "You'd really want to?" Mr. Thompson nodded slowly, his gaze earnest. "I didn't realize how much this diner meant to the community until I heard your story. If there's anything I can do," hope hung in the air again, but mixed with hesitation. Did she dare be vulnerable enough to accept his help? "Maybe we could use some donations to get supplies for the fundraiser?" Sarah blurted, and a wave of murmurs followed. Mia weighed the options. If they accepted his help, it could mean saving the diner. But would that change the way her community viewed both her and the diner? The fear of becoming a project rather than a peer tightened her throat. "Okay, we can talk about it tomorrow," she managed, unsure if she felt relieved or anxious. As they continued to brainstorm, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that this moment was a pivotal turning point, not just for the diner, but for herself as well. And just as the night was beginning to settle, a thought crossed her mind. Could Mr. Thompson, the millionaire who had once seemed so distant, become a part of their story? With the weight of uncertainty on her shoulders, she knew this wasn't just about their diner, it was about her journey. As she left the community center that night, a question loomed larger than the rest. What happens when the lines between rich and poor begin to blur, and a community fights together? The sunlight streamed through Mia's bedroom window, casting warm patterns across her desk where her notes lay scattered. Thoughts raced through her mind, wrapped in excitement and trepidation. Today was the day they would gather to strategize their plan, but the weight of Mr. Thompson's unexpected offer pressed heavily on her spirit. With a quick brush of her hair and a reassuring glance in the mirror, Mia bolted down the stairs, her heart beating with a mix of anticipation and dread. Her mother was in the kitchen, fumbling with a spatula while flipping pancakes. The familiar scent filled the air, bringing a moment of comfort amidst the chaos swirling inside her. "Hey, sweetie, big day today?" her mom asked, noticing Mia's distracted demeanor. "Yeah, we're going to figure out how to help the diner," Mia replied, forcing a smile even as doubt gnawed at her insides. "That's great. Just remember, together you all can make a difference," her mom said, serving up a plate. Mia took a bite, allowing the warmth of home to anchor her momentarily before dashing out the door. Arriving at Sarah's house, Mia was greeted by her friends, buzzing with energy, their voices creating a melody of hope. They gathered around Sarah's dining table, laden with cookies and coffee. A whiteboard stood at the front, an empty canvas waiting for their dreams. "Okay, team. Let us start with the fundraiser ideas," Sarah announced, her enthusiasm contagious. As each suggestion flowed, Mia's heart warmed. Bake sales, raffles, even a car wash, each idea shimmered with possibility. They laughed, bouncing suggestions off one another, showing that they were more than just friends. They were a family fighting for their second home. As the conversation deepened, Mia hesitated. "What about Mr. Thompson? Should we consider his help?" Silence fell. The room seemed to contract, breaths all around her held tight. Sarah furrowed her brow. "I don't know, is that really what we want? I mean, it could save the diner. But what does that mean for us?" Mia's voice wavered. She felt like she was walking a tightrope, one misstep away from losing it all. The group engaged in a lively debate, a chaotic mix of opinions. Some were adamant that they could handle it alone, while others were drawn by the prospect of accepting help from the man known for his wealth. Mia felt the pulse of her friends' emotions. Hope wrestled with pride, and their solidarity felt both comforting and unsettling. "Look," Mia finally said, determination threading through her words, "if we accept the help, it doesn't mean we lose control. We make sure this is still our project. Our diner isn't just a building, it's a piece of all of us." Nods of agreement circled the table, confidence bubbling up again. After hours of brainstorming, they finalized plans for a community talent show. It was ambitious, but the thought of showcasing their neighbors' skills ignited excitement. When they had fleshed out the details, they turned their thoughts back to Mr. Thompson. "Let us invite him to the show. If he shows up, we can discuss his support then," Sarah proposed, and softly, everyone began to nod in approval. As they cleaned up their mess, Mia felt a new sense of purpose settle within her. Together, they would navigate this uncertain territory, blending their lives with someone so different. And as they shared lingering laughs and playful jabs, Mia couldn't help but wonder if they could actually change the community's perception of their little diner and themselves. But just as Mia began to feel in control, a message flashed on her phone, bringing with it the icy tendrils of anxiety. "Mr. Thompson wants to meet after school." Mia's heart raced. Was she ready for this? What if everything shifted again? With determination coursing through her veins, she whispered a silent promise to herself, "We'll do this together." But wouldn't their journey teeter on this tightrope of trust and vulnerability? And somewhere in the space between worlds, Mia hoped to find a way to bridge the gap. Mia's fingers tapped nervously against her desk as she sat waiting for the final bell to ring. Each tick of the clock echoed in her ears, a countdown to the meeting that could change everything. She could hardly concentrate on the lesson. Every thought was tangled with doubt about Mr. Thompson. He was a stranger, a wealthy man, and now he wanted to step into their world. The bell rang, jolting her from her reverie. She gathered her things, heart pounding as she stepped into the bustling hallway. Students laughed and rushed past her, their worry light years away from her own. Mia's mind played on repeat, questioning whether their talent showcase could really convince Mr. Thompson to help them. Would he see the diner as they did more than just a business? As she walked outside, the air felt different, charged with possibility. On the school steps, she spotted Sarah and the other friends waiting for her, their expressions a mix of excitement and worry. "Hey, how are you feeling?" Sarah asked, sensing the tension in Mia's posture. "I don't know," Mia said, taking a deep breath. "What if he doesn't take our ideas seriously? What if he sees it as just a joke?" "Let us focus on what we're passionate about," Sarah encouraged. "We have to believe in our vision. The diner is our home, and we know what it means to our community." Mia nodded, hoping the fire ignited in her friends would spread to her. They walked together toward the diner, each step echoing with the weight of expectation. Would they really impress Mr. Thompson? Would he become a partner or a puppet master in their plans? The diner came into view, its familiar neon sign buzzing softly. It welcomed them like an old friend, reminding Mia of laughter, warmth, and home-cooked meals. She smiled, imagining the bustling talent show filling the space with energy and spirit. As they entered, the comforting aroma of fried food filled their noses. The diner was already alive with customers chatting and laughing. Mia felt a surge of determination. This was their ground, their space of belonging. "All right, let us set things up for our meeting with Mr. Thompson," Mia said, gathering her friends around the table in the corner. They pulled out their notes, a display of colorful charts for the talent show, showcasing everything from singers to jugglers. Just then, the door chimed, and in walked Mr. Thompson, his sharp suit contrasting with the casual diner atmosphere. Each step he took echoed with authority, and Mia felt a rush of nerves as he approached their table. "Hello, Mia." His voice was smooth, devoid of pretense. "I received your invitation. I'm curious to see what you all have planned." Mia's gut twisted, but she stood up straight. "Thank you for coming. We're excited to share our ideas for the talent show, and how it can bring the community together to save the diner." As they pitched their plans, Mia's heart raced with each flicker of Mr. Thompson's expressions. He listened intently, nodding as they spoke of the community's talents and hopes. Yet doubt gnawed at her. Was he really here to help, or was he just humoring them? After a brief silence, Mr. Thompson looked at them, and his expression shifted. Mia's concern knotted tighter. This is a brilliant idea. A talent show could draw in crowds and energy. But her heart dropped. The but loomed heavy between them. What was he about to say? As the air thickened with anticipation, Mia held her breath, readying for whatever would follow. Would this moment set them on a path of collaboration, or would it lead them down a road of compromise? What I want to know, he continued, is if you're willing to let me invest, but under one condition. Suddenly, Mia felt it. The weight of change and the spark of hope, all intermingling in the air. What was the condition? As she locked eyes with Mr. Thompson, her heart pounded in rhythm with her ambitions. Would they be able to hold on to their vision without losing themselves in the process? Could their dreams survive the real world? Mia stood on the edge of uncertainty, ready to leap into a future filled with possibilities, and yet she couldn't shake the feeling that whatever unfolded next would redefine everything they had fought for. Mia blinked, her breath caught in her throat as she waited for Mr. Thompson to reveal his condition. The diner's familiar sounds faded around her, replaced by the thud of her heart. Her friends leaned in, eyes wide, each holding their hopes tightly in their hands. I want to oversee the talent show myself, he said finally. I'll guide you. I want to make it bigger than you can imagine, but I need your trust. This will be our project together. A wave of mixed emotions crashed over Mia. Was this what they wanted? To have someone control the direction of their dreams? She glanced at Sarah and the others, who exchanged looks of excitement and apprehension. Mr. Thompson, we appreciate your interest, but we have our own vision, she replied, forcing herself to sound confident. We want it to feel authentic, something the community can connect to. We can't risk losing that. He studied them for a moment, a slight smile playing on his lips. I respect that. But to draw people in, sometimes you need to think bigger. His eyes sparkled as he leaned forward. What if we showcase not just talent, but also stories? Stories of the people who make this diner what it is. Mia felt a flicker of intrigue. Stories were powerful. They could breathe life into the showcase in ways they hadn't even begun to imagine. The spark in her chest ignited a little more. How would that work? Sarah asked, her curiosity piqued, excitement glimmering. Each act could be paired with a short video, sharing their story, Mr. Thompson suggested. It would not only entertain but also connect the crowd to each performer. They'd see the heart, and they'd want to be a part of it. I can even provide the resources and equipment needed to make this happen. The room filled with murmurs of excitement, their fears mingling with hope. It was an idea that could transform their showcase into something remarkable. But could they trust him enough to execute it their way? Let us think about it, Mia said cautiously, her stomach still tight with uncertainty. We just need to make sure it still feels like ours. Of course, he nodded, his demeanor shifting to one of understanding. Take your time. But remember, opportunities like this don't always knock twice. As he left the diner, the door chimed softly behind him, and the group fell silent. The weight of the moment hung heavily in the air. Do we really want this? Mia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The others exchanged glances, weighing the thrill of possibility against their commitment to their original vision. If we go this route, it has to be on our terms, Ryan added firmly. But what could it mean for the diner? For us? Mia felt a rush of warmth, realizing how much they all cared. They knew what the diner meant to the community. They'd spent countless hours laughing, forming friendships, and finding themselves in its embrace. This could change everything, but at what cost? We need to prepare for the next step, no matter what we decide, Mia said, bolstered by her friend's presence. Outside, the sun began to set, painting the sky with vibrant hues. It felt like a sign, a reminder that change was inevitable but also beautiful. As they started brainstorming ways to incorporate storytelling, a sense of renewed energy washed over them. But as they dove deeper into discussions, the question lingered in the air like an unspoken truth: what were they willing to sacrifice to chase their dreams? Mia felt a twist in her stomach. She knew they needed a plan, but what if they sacrificed their passion in the name of success? The show wouldn't just reflect the talent of their community, it had to reflect their hearts, too. And that brought her back to one burning question: could they find a balance between Mr. Thompson's vision and their own? As they left the diner that evening, Mia glanced back at the neon sign flickering in the twilight. Was this the moment they embraced their future, or was it the beginning of a struggle for their souls? She couldn't shake the feeling that the real battle was just beginning. The next day, the diner buzzed with a different kind of energy. Mia and her friends gathered in their usual booth, the booth that had seen the birth of countless dreams and the steady flow of laughter. Sunlight streamed through the window, catching dust motes in the air, but there was a heaviness in Mia's chest. Today was about solidifying their vision. So, what's the plan? Sarah asked, her eyes bright with excitement mixed with skepticism. We have to figure out how to make these stories fit our framework. Mia could sense the anticipation, but a lingering doubt tugged at her thoughts. We need to create a way for the performances and the stories to flow together seamlessly. What if we worked with the performers directly? Ryan leaned back, arms crossed. But that could take forever. We have so many talents to showcase, and figuring out their stories, is that even practical? It's essential. Mia felt a fire within her. We don't want to lose the core of who we are. The community connects with us because we tell our truths, not just perform. The group nodded, but understanding the truth was different from committing to it. I think we could reach out and have small interviews. Everyone loves a good story, Sarah suggested. But we need to set a time limit. Otherwise, we might drown in narratives. Fine lines of concern creased Mia's forehead. Right, we can start with a few key performers who are already connected with the diner. They know what it means to be part of this place. As they jotted down names, the atmosphere picked up. Laughter echoed softly as memories surfaced. It felt good to imagine filling the diner with life and connection through their stories. Let's start with Emma, Ryan said suddenly. Her dance moves are incredible, but you can see the pain in her eyes when she performs. Mia's heart tugged at the thought. Their friend had battled through tough times. If anyone understands the power of storytelling, it's her. After hours of discussion and strategy building, they wrapped up their meeting, energized and ready to take the first steps. The diner grew quiet in the evening's embrace as they stepped outside, their shared determination palpable. Let's do this, Mia. Ryan's voice was steady, and she felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. They were in this together. Yet as she stood under the flickering neon sign, a tiny seed of doubt planted itself in her mind. What if Emma wasn't ready to share her story? What if the emotional burden of revealing the truth transformed their showcase into something darker than they intended? Mia? Sarah's voice cut through her reverie. You okay? Yeah, she replied, though she didn't feel it. Suddenly, a shimmering thought surfaced. This was their moment, but they had to be ready for what it would demand from them. The following day, they arranged details for the interviews, ready to dive into the lives of their fellow performers. Mia's heart raced at the thought of what they might uncover. But the shadows of uncertainty loomed larger than before. Could they navigate sensitive stories without exploiting them? As they prepared to gather stories that mattered, Mia's excitement intertwined with anxiety. After all, opening a door meant stepping into unknown territory. What hidden struggles would reveal themselves, and how would it affect the show? With every step, she questioned whether they could do justice to these stories. Was it fair to ask others to share their darkness for the sake of art and for their dreams? Just before sleep claimed her that night, Mia thought of Emma's dance. It was more than just movement, it was a language. But what if this language spoke pain? Would they be equipped to carry it forward without losing their way? With her heart racing, she whispered to the stillness of her room, what if unveiling the truth is the greatest risk of all? Mia drifted into uneasy dreams, wondering who would bear the weight of storytelling, and if they were ready to step into the light of those truths. The sun peeked through Mia's window as she woke, its warmth a gentle reminder that today was vital. Today, they would invite the first performer in for an interview. Emma would be the first to share her truth. The thought wrapped around Mia's heart with both excitement and dread. At breakfast, Mia sat with her mother, who sipped her coffee with the same ease that she'd always done. The coffee shop aroma filled the kitchen, but Mia's mind was elsewhere. Memories of childhood filled her head. Emma dancing at the spring festivals, all laughter and freeness. Now, Mia feared that laughter was mixed with something darker. "Mia? You're awfully quiet today," her mother said, concern lacing her voice. "I have a big project," Mia replied, twisting her spoon in her bowl of cereal. "I'm a bit nervous." Her mother nodded knowingly, as if sensing the weight of unspoken worries. "Just remember, you can be brave. You may discover something beautiful." Mia forced a smile, appreciating her mother's optimism. With a nod, she pushed back the budding doubts and forced herself to focus. Later that morning, Mia and her friends set up the diner for the first interview. They moved tables around, creating a cozy area with soft lighting. They wanted Emma to feel at home, to know she was safe in this process. Each piece of furniture felt like it carried the history of their shared lives. "Do you think she'll open up?" Ryan asked, glancing at Mia, his brow furrowed. "She will," Mia said, her voice firmer than she felt. "If we approach her with respect, she'll know we care." Moments later, the door swung open, bringing in a burst of energy. Emma walked in, a wide smile dancing across her face, but beneath it, Mia could see the flicker of resistance. That familiar spark of joy struggled against the weight of past struggles. "Hey, guys!" Emma exclaimed, her voice bright but tinged with uncertainty. Mia gestured to the makeshift interview space. "We just wanted to talk. No pressure for anything deep, just share what feels right." With hesitation, Emma nodded, slipping into the chair. The group settled around her, a safe circle of friends. Mia's heart raced as she hit record on her phone. This was it. This was where they would either break down walls or build new connections. "Tell us what dance means to you," Mia asked, her voice steady but soft. Emma's gaze dropped to her hands, wringing them against her jeans. "Dance, it's everything to me. It's an escape, a way to express what words can't." Mia caught the faint tremor in her voice. She leaned in, her heart pounding. "But it's also a way to connect with pain, isn't it?" Emma glanced up, surprise and recognition swirling in her eyes. "Yeah, it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm dancing away all those hurts. It used to be my therapy." Mia's throat tightened at Emma's confession. This was what they sought: authenticity and raw emotion, a peek into the burden Emma had carried silently for years. As the interview went on, Emma unfolded her story, how the dance floor had been her sanctuary, even when life outside felt insurmountable. Laughter spilled out mixed with tears, but each moment felt like a step toward a cathartic release. After a while, they paused as Emma wiped her cheeks, her smile appearing more genuine now. "But it's hard to let other people in. What if they don't understand?" Mia reached out, placing her hand on Emma's. "We're here for you. Your story matters, especially to those who may feel lost just like you did. You'll help them heal." In that instant, Mia understood, to tell stories wasn't just art, it was healing. Each shared truth became a lifeline, connecting them all. As the interview wrapped up, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something bigger. Emma's truth glimmered with hope, but Mia knew there were deeper layers to uncover. Standing together, the weight of their project sank in, pulsing with possibilities and questions. They now had a crucial piece of their vision, but could they truly do justice to everything Emma had shared today? Mia took a deep breath, heart racing once more as she pondered the road ahead. Would courage and vulnerability shine through their presentation, or would fear seep back in? "Are we ready for this?" she wondered aloud, casting a shadow over their seemingly bright plan. But what lay beyond this was a realm of belief and bravery, where the stories could empower them all. And just beyond the dim diner door, another performer was waiting. Mia's pulse quickened as she glanced at the door again. She could hear the distant sounds of the diner, clinking dishes and muffled laughter, yet her thoughts were still tangled up in Emma's raw truths. The air in the room felt charged with emotions, Their first shared story had stirred something deep within each of them. "Do you think we should wait a bit?" Ryan asked, his brow creased with concern as he peered over his shoulder. "No, let us go ahead," Mia replied, her voice a little more resolute than she felt. A nervous energy had become palpable now. Maybe she needs to see we're ready to know she's not alone in this. With that, Mia stepped toward the door, her heart hammering inside her chest. The door swung open, and in walked Sophia, radiating an effortless grace. She had struck a vibrant chord with everyone in town. Like Emma, she wore a smile, but hers seemed to carry the weight of expectations. The moment their eyes met, Mia sensed that Sophia was a force ready to unleash. "Hey everyone!" Sophia's energy shattered the tension in the room. She was a whirlwind of colors, a burst of confidence. Mia gestured toward the seating area. "We're so glad you're here. Ready to chat?" "Oh, definitely!" Sophia exclaimed, settling into the chair they had designated for interviews. "I love sharing my story." Mia paused, a curl of uncertainty dancing in her stomach. "Can you tell us what inspires your performances?" Sophia leaned back, her expression thoughtful. "For me, it's about breaking down barriers. I grew up in a world that told me who I could or couldn't be. I wanted to prove everyone wrong." As she talked, Mia felt the familiar thrill of anticipation rising again. Sophia's brimming passion ignited hope that another powerful narrative was unfolding. "Can you tell us about a moment that changed everything for you?" Mia asked, her words quiet but earnest. Sophia's eyes sparkled, and a laugh escaped her lips. "There was this one time at a talent show in middle school. I performed this dance, and everyone laughed. But I just kept pushing through, and it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. I learned that laughter can be empowering if you choose to own it." A grounding stillness filled the room as Mia absorbed the weight of those words. Laughter could stifle, but it could also rise to new heights, meteor-like, bringing warmth to cold hearts. "That's such a lesson," Mia said, humbled. "How do you turn those past experiences into your art today?" Sophia's voice softened, a melodic cadence. "I try to be a mirror for others. The world can be tough, but if someone sees a piece of themselves in my performance, I know I've succeeded. It reminds them they aren't alone." Mia felt a knot in her throat. This was more than an interview. It felt like a pact, a shared moment where vulnerability was the foundation. "Your story can inspire so many, Sophia." "Just like Emma's." Sophia nodded thoughtfully, pausing as if weighing her next words. "It's so important for us to lift each other up. We can't let the shadows win." In that moment, Mia knew their project began to take form not just as a collection of performances but as a movement against isolation. Each story pulled in not only the performers but also the community, stitching lives together with threads of understanding. Suddenly, Ryan leaned in, excitement in his voice. "What if we help spread these stories? Let people know they are not just performances, but real experiences that resonate?" Mia's heart surged with hope at Ryan's idea. "Yes. We can host a showcase. We need to make sure every story is heard." "Count me in," Sophia chimed, her face glowing. Mia was overwhelmed, emotions swirling within her like a spinning top. They had a purpose, a way to transform lives. But a nagging question lingered in the back of her mind: were they truly prepared for the complexities this journey would bring? The door swung open again, and they all turned to see another figure stepping in. This time, the shadows of the past could no longer stay hidden. With a deep breath, Mia braced herself for what was to come. How many more stories lay waiting, just behind that door? The door creaked as it swung open wider, revealing a tall figure wrapped in a simple but elegant coat, a contrast to the vibrant colors that filled the room. It was Emma. Mia's heart sank and soared at the same time. Here was someone who had already faced so much, yet in her presence, there was an unspoken strength that seemed to hush the chatter around them. "Hey everyone," Emma said, her voice steady, though Mia noticed a slight tremor in her hands. "I came to see what all this excitement was about." Mia gestured for Emma to sit, her heart a rush of encouragement. "We're just gathering stories of inspiration. Sophia here just shared how she turned laughter into power. Emma's eyes sparkled for a moment. That sounds amazing. Laughter has always been part of my life, even when things got hard. We were just about to plan a showcase, Ryan chimed in, eagerness lighting up his face. We want to help everyone share their stories. You should join us, Emma. Emma hesitated, her gaze dropping to the floor. I don't know if I have a story worth sharing. Her words hung in the air, heavy with doubt. Mia felt a pang of compassion. Emma, your journey is powerful, no matter what you think. Every little piece matters. It adds to the whole. Ryan nodded in agreement. We're here to lift each other, that's the point. Isn't that what you told me once, about using our voices? Mia watched Emma wrestle with her thoughts. More than once, this girl had touched countless lives without realizing it. Finally, Emma's shoulders seemed to relax. What if I do share? What if my story doesn't help anyone? Sophia leaned in, her eyes shimmering with conviction. What if your story is just what someone needs to hear? I didn't realize the strength in my own laughter until I put it out into the world. You never know who it might reach. As the conversation flowed, the room felt alive with potential. Mia could see the clouds shifting for Emma, the weight of self-doubt slowly lifting. Every word spoke to the heart of their mission, a mission not just to showcase stories but to forge connections in their community. And here's the thing, Mia added, her voice gaining warmth. Even if one person hears you, it could be enough. It's about creating a ripple effect. We can inspire each other. Emma looked around the room, her expression transforming as she took in the faces of friends enveloped in their shared purpose. All right, she said, a hint of a smile creeping in. I'll do it. I want to share. Cheers erupted, and Mia felt tears pricking her eyes, pride mingled with relief. They were creating something bigger than they had ever anticipated, a space where vulnerability thrived. Suddenly, the clattering of dishes from the diner broke the spell, and everyone turned. A younger girl, eyes wide and hopeful, had wandered in, standing just inside the doorway. It was as if the universe had sent her at that exact moment, a reminder to Mia of all the lives waiting to be touched. Are you having a talent show? The girl asked, her voice squeaky yet brave. Mia's heart raced. Was she ready for this? We're planning a showcase, yes? Would you like to share something? The girl hesitated, then stepped further inside, inching closer to their table. Maybe. I can read a poem. Please do. Mia encouraged, excitement bubbling in her chest. As the girl gathered her courage, Mia looked at her friends. Light flickered in their eyes. Another story awaited, and the ever-growing tapestry of their project just got a little more vibrant. But what could this young performer bring that would shift the very essence of their movement? Would she unlock the courage hidden in others just like Emma? The air in the diner crackled with an eager anticipation as all eyes turned to the young girl. Mia could feel her pulse racing, heart pounding like a drum. This was at a moment that felt electric, transformative. The girl stepped to the center of the makeshift space. She cleared her throat and clutched her paper tightly, fingers trembling slightly. My name is Lily. I want to share a poem I wrote. As she began, words flowed out like a rushing river, each line painting vivid pictures of hope, dreams, and the unconditional support of family and friends. The room fell silent, the only sound the soft cadence of her voice intermingling with the hisses from the diner's kitchen. Mia leaned closer, captivated. The words wrapped around her heart, igniting warmth within. Lily spoke of fear, resilience, and the strength found in community, echoes of their journey. Mia could see tears glistening in Emma's eyes as she listened intently, a reflection of her own struggles. As Lily concluded, the room erupted in applause. The sound rolled through the diner like a wave, lifting everyone into its embrace. Mia felt she might burst with emotion. Wow, you're incredible! Emma exclaimed, jumping up to hug Lily. Mia joined in, wrapping her arms around them both. In that instant, unity pulsed throughout the diner, a clear reminder of what they were building together. Your words matter. You matter, Mia said to Lily, her voice thick with emotion. They all shared a breath, a silent agreement that stories large or small held the power to connect people, to elevate voices. After their heartfelt moment, Mia turned to her friends, excitement bubbling over. This is it. We need to wrap Lily's performance into our showcase. Can you imagine how impactful it would be to include her story too? Exactly. Ryan chimed in, his enthusiasm infectious. Every person has something to offer. We have to invite everyone to share. This can truly bring the community together. A sense of urgency swept through them. They had tools, stories, and the heart to make a splash that rippled far beyond the diner's walls. With renewed purpose, they brainstormed in the diner that evening. They drew hopes and dreams for each story they hoped to feature, scribbling furiously on napkins and paper. Mia felt herself riding a wave of inspiration. The energy surged between them like fireworks. As they mapped out the community showcase, Mia turned to Mr. Thompson's earlier words, mixing in his big ideas without losing their essence. They debated, laughed, and shared memories, all connecting like the pieces of a tapestry. When the talent show date finally arrived, the diner felt alive with spirit. Friends and family filled every corner, laughter floating like balloons. Mia stood backstage, her heart throbbing. She watched as one by one, performers took their turns to shine, revealing their truths through dance, song, and spoken word. And then it was Emma's turn. Mia held her breath as she stepped onto the stage. The spotlight bathed her in warmth, a blanket of love from the entire community. Emma took a moment, blinking as she drew strength from everyone gathered. As Emma began to dance, Mia could see it, a fusion of vulnerability and strength. She twirled, each movement telling a story, her body becoming a vessel, the pain, the laughter, the victories all coalescing into healing energy. Mia's heart soared as she saw the audience hold their breath, captivated by a truth that was raw and real. After Emma's performance, Mia felt a surge of joy wash over her. The applause shook the diner, but it was the tears on Emma's cheeks that told the real story. Mia felt pride swell in her heart for all of them, their journey together, the purpose they'd found through sharing stories. Mr. Thompson watched from the crowd, eyes shimmering with an uncharacteristic warmth. He had become more than just a wealthy figure. He had stepped into their story, investing not only resources but also heart and understanding. As the show closed, Mia took to the stage, her voice trembling with excitement. Everyone, thank you for being part of this. Together, we've discovered our strength, and through these stories, we've built a bridge, a connection we carry with us into the future. Celebratory cheers erupted, but the emotional connection held steady like the strongest thread in their tapestry. They had transformed a simple talent showcase into a testament of resilience, love, and community spirit, a light shining brightly against any darkness. As Mia stood there, surrounded by friends, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace. This journey was not merely a project, it was a revolution of hope. In that moment, she realized the true power of dreams, how they inspire connection and heal wounds. Let us keep building this ripple, Mia declared with a radiant smile. Who wants to share their story next week? And at that moment, as more hands shot up and laughter echoed, Mia knew this was only the beginning of something incredible. They had all felt a touch of magic, and it was here to stay. Each heartbeat echoed with the promise of transformation and togetherness, a collective spirit soaring high like summer dreams woven into the fabric of their little diner. So, as they wrapped up the night filled with joy, Mia's heart thrummed with gratitude for each person, each story shared. She realized no dream is too big when a community stands together. Now, it's your turn. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next incredible stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us grow. Comment your reactions and feelings about this ending. Your voice matters. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now. Don't wait not even one more second to share. Your actions fuel our journey and our dreams.